set my grind and set my heart on ice cold. We down right now, but did it before. Whoa. See from here we going up. Made the call, I shown up. Now the game is sewn up. Say my name is blown up. We up.
Hey, how you doing, folks? Hey, how you doing, folks? It's Chris Harris here. Another episode of Bucks Sports Podcast. First off, man, want to tell everybody Happy New Year. First live show of the year. Got my co-host with me. You already hear him. He's excited to be here, man. We got Coach Brandon Maynor representing those union sparrings. And we got BB, what is that? BB the promoter, Mr. Brandon Blackwell, representing them Lakewood Leopards. Uh, Appreciate y'all gentlemen joining me tonight, man. First thing first, man, how y'all doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, fellas.
Yeah. Miss y'all guys, man.
Oh yeah, look, we've been a little bit took a little hiatus, a little break over the holidays. Chance to just sit back, unwind, recharge the batteries, man. Once again, this is Bucks Sports Podcast. Appreciate everyone joining us. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Like I said, man, first new show of the year. First show going independent. We are independently owned and operated by yours truly. Had a great run with A10 Studios for the last year. They were great. Nothing negative to say about them, man. They were great for us, and I appreciate them giving us the opportunity. And I could definitely see us working with them again in the future. But I'm gonna give one more shout out to them, man. Make sure y'all go swing by, like, share, and follow. Check them out. Tonight's show, man. We're gonna hit the ground running, man. We got a lot to catch up on. Like I said, man, we lost those last couple weeks in December, so we want to start off the show with catching up on what happened in the state championship games. Of course, later on tonight, actually, we got a college football playoff game that's going on, so that's going to be exciting. We got the NFL Wildcard weekend coming up this weekend, and of course, we want to jump back into high school hoops and get you guys updated on everything that's been going on the hardwood here in Sampson County. But the big news of the day, man. Earlier today, we dropped our Bucks Sports Player of the Year nominees, and that voting has kicked off. And man, already well over 1,000 people have voted. So that's great, man. Continue to vote. It's going to be up for entire. We're gonna give it an entire week. The polls will close by the time we go live next Thursday. So 7 p.m. next Thursday to vote. We're gonna take the top, maybe the top four vote getters, and then we'll discuss amongst ourselves who's gonna be our BuzzFeed Sports Player of the Year, man. So be sure to continue. Let all your fan bases know. Continue to share, spread the word, vote, 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 man. If your guy doesn't get mentioned, it's on y'all, man. I'm putting the power in y'all hands. So please, like I said, man, get out there, vote. 14 awesome. Sure that we had one representative from every school that we cover. So yeah, like I said, just scroll right down on BuzzFeed Sports Facebook page. You'll see the poll, and go ahead and vote. And also, man, if you're tuning in live with us, man, please feel free to chat it up with us here in the comment section. We Super Radio Broadcast crew, man, all-time listener, big-time supporter. Ryan, what's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in with us tonight. Oh, all right, fellas, man. We'll go ahead and get started on our first topic, man. We want to talk about just do a little quick state championship recap since we we were on a little break during the time period. We checked out all the games, man. Four great games. We have four brand new state champions. No repeat from last year, I believe. Yeah. There's no repeats. Starting in 1A, we got Tarboro. Tarborough's the new state champion. In 2A, Monroe, new state champion. 3A, West Charlotte, and in 4A, it was Grimsley. So congratulations. First off, congratulations to all those teams, man. Like I said, I checked out all the games, man. Four awesome games. There is one specifically that I want to speak on, and it's because of like some of the negativity that was and some of the misinformation coming from the West Charlotte. West Charlotte, their state champions, man. They pulled off something that that was a really impressive run they went on, defeating the teams that they defeated those last couple weeks. But I saw, and that's why I normally try to stay out those Facebook groups, because a lot of them are just really Western bias, and like I said, it's a lot of misinformation and just flat out ignorance, really. One of the things I kept on saying was just the down talking on Eastern football. Um, Look, 71st had like a couple of key injuries to guys that just you couldn't afford. I'm saying, like, I know the old cliche is football, injury is going to have man up, but they had some injuries that, like, these are guys could not afford to lose. Talking that the coaching staff, if DeAndre Nance is 100%, that's totally different. Take for Lamar Jackson, Ravens offense right now. How you think they're gonna look? Like they ain't gonna look the same. So like I said, it was a lot of trash talking, a lot of down talking on 71st as a football program. And I'm like, if y'all saw the 71st team fully healthy that we saw this past season up into that state championship game, it's a totally different ball game. And then all the trash talk, you only won by a touchdown. Like, come on, man. And like I
Right.
said, just the two guys that 71st could not afford to lose. And like I said, it happens in football. You know, I just didn't really like the disrespect that I was seeing towards them and Eastern football together. Because like I said, you got the Western guys saying things that just have the state championship game with the Western. They all and it's the same stuff every year. And it always bugs me, man. Like I said, I watch football all over, man. I check out everybody, and I have respect for everyone. And uh, like I said, hearing people downplay, the style of football and it always does me the wrong on that,
They
man.
don't call us
My,
the Beast
my,
Coast for
my
no reason.
suggestion to those West uh, uh, body out West, man, step out that bubble and check, actually check out some great athletes playing a great football team and playing great coaches on the side. Man. So that's all I would say on it. Anything y'all, want to speak on as far as those state championships goes?
I was gonna say, just like you said, man, it don't matter if it's football where you got 11 men on the field or cornhole where there's two. You change the man that's on your left or your right, and you've been playing with that man for X amount of weeks. You know what I'm saying? These kids start practicing in the summertime. They know what the setup is. They know what's good. Like you change anybody on the left or right, there's gonna be an impact on the game. But you turn around and look and say you remove leaders from the field, and it's a way bigger impact. You know what I'm saying? It's a way bigger impact for you to take a leader off the field, much less just a player you've been playing next to all season. Those players they had go down, like you said, they were key players. That means they weren't just excellent ball players; they were team leaders. I mean, they were the ones mentoring the guys coming up. They're the ones showing them what it takes, and for you to take them off the field, like, yeah, that's it's gonna have an impact. So not making excuses. A win's a win, a loss is a loss. But for y'all to bash East Coast football like that, man, this the Beast Coast. What you talking about? Like, yeah, there's some schools out here in certain areas, in certain classifications that maybe don't perform as well as others, or a lot of it's a resource thing. Like, you look at you guys out west, even your small towns got money. Even your small towns got money. Like, you come out here to the east and you getting sponsored by the Piggly Wiggly if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, the resources aren't the same. But that don't mean it's any less of an athlete. There's any the athletes out here are lesser than you guys. It just means they might not have access to the resources and things that you guys do. But I mean, a small town out west, and you start getting up to Charlotte and stuff. A small town out west is still bigger and more populous. It has more money than most of these small East Coast farm towns. I mean, so equipment, access to facilities, like all that stuff plays a part. It plays a role into what your athletes are going to be at the end of the day. Now, you take all that into consideration, and I get where y'all want to throw off on us, but y'all sleeping because there's a beast out here. There's some monsters out here. I mean, show me. I know you got guys out there in the western part of the state that have very high numbers, but you can find those same numbers down here on the East
Oh
Coast.
yeah,
You can find those same numbers down here. I mean, show me how many of your guys got 200 tackles on a season. Show me that, because we got one down here way deep on the East
Hmm.
Coast that does. You understand me? Like, I mean, it's we're products of our environment, guys. It just is what it is. These are not lesser athletes. They're not lesser teams. They might be lesser funded, have less resources, and things of that nature. But that's why we're here, is to get eyes out here, to get our communities to see these schools, to see these programs, to see the caliber of athletes we really have, and to get some buyback into these guys. That's part of what we're pushing for. So put some respect on our name.
So piggyback off you, Brandon. You know, the I watched that game. I watched the West Charlotte and 71st game, and for them to have those two main players, like Chris said, those two guys are the guys that you cannot afford to not be on the field. And for you to only win by 7 points, you
that's what
struggled
I was
against a
saying. Like, come
you
on now.
struggled you absolutely struggled until the very you didn't score that touchdown until what, 2 minutes to go, right?
It,
Was it
it
like a
was
minute and
it
40?
was late. It was late because it was a tie game for most of the game. So I'm saying
Yeah,
that's
oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
It was like 2 minutes. It was like less than. It was like 2 minutes to go when they scored that go ahead touchdown. And 71st got the ball back on the fumble, right? They got the ball back on the fumble, and then they fumble, which But that just goes to show you, there shouldn't have been no talk. If anybody should have been best with Charlotte, y'all should have blown them out with those two main players, because your game plan. It's like Chris said, that whole offense is completely different. When something like that happens last minute and you got to change your game plan within the week of, you know, and still hold y'all to that amount of points and only win by 7. I mean, that's really not saying much. I mean, but hey, congratulations, West Charlotte. You're state champions. Can't take that away from you.
Oh no.
Just remember, man, anybody can do a little with a lot, but it takes a lot to do a
Yes,
lot with a
sir.
little. Takes somebody special to do a lot with a little. So remember that we talk about the East Coast. We're gonna see you again. It ain't gonna be that long either.
Oh
It's
yeah.
coming up quick. Coming
Hey,
up
look,
quick.
anybody that's having I apologize if there's any issues with the stream, man. Having some internet ain't as Wi-Fi ain't being as cooperative as it normally is, so just bear with us. Hopefully it's a little bit better now. I know it's normally a little choppy on my end anyway since I'm hosting, but hopefully everybody could hear and see us okay. Like I say, if it's any better or it gets any worse, man, please let me know, and I'll may have to restart it and start this thing over again, try again. But appreciate everybody in the chat for letting us know. Uh, let me see here, man. But yeah, like y'all was saying, man, with like I said, they Western Charlotte, they're state champions, and they pulled off a like I said, man, beating Dudley, Hickory, then all back to back beats like that. That's tough, man. So football team, but chill out, chill out on 71st. You didn't even see the real 71st. Trust me. Like I said, man, DeAndre Nance healthy. That's number 9 healthy. Man, that's a totally different. That's a totally different football game. Uh, real quick, man. Once again, appreciate y'all for listening in, man. Anybody else got anything else on state championships?
About that.
Just you wish you had one, right?
All
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, it's coming.
right.
It's coming.
And late one was close,
Uh,
but with
hey,
with
look,
that,
man. It's like I said, it's hard, man. It's hard. Some teams make it, they make it look easy, man. But winning the state championship it's not an easy feat, man. You got to have a lot of things go. It's got to be a mixture of just everything coming together in the right way, the right time, And I mean, it's tough, man. So I know some teams make it look easy, and that's a blessing on them. But it's tough winning the state championship, man. So that's why I always tell kids, man, if you get a chance to go and play again in that game, don't take it for granted because it's no guarantee you getting back there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Some of these schools take years off before seeing it again. Some of them
Man,
never seen it. I mean,
and that may
it's
be a great topic to discuss one sometime in this. And some of the best teams that I've seen play that didn't win a state championship. It's a lot of them. Trust me, Ryan, Ryan
oh yeah.
Sutherland. If you still up here, brother, there is about several East Duplin teams that
yes,
were
sir.
good enough to make the state to win a state championship. And if it wasn't for some really good Clinton and some really good Tarboro teams, and like I said, a similar situation to what happened with 71st. And Ryan knows exactly what I'm talking about. 2017 when y'all played man, I can't remember who y'all played in the state championship game, but y'all running back number 9 got hurt after that first drive. They had no answer for this guy. They had no answer for him. He was just running all over him, and he got hurt like I think the next drive, and that just totally took the wind out their sails, man. But if it wasn't for that, and like I said, a couple really good Clinton and Tarboro teams, East Duplin would have about maybe 2 or 3 more state championships right now. Bryn, yes, sir. That's who it was. And they said East Duplin, if number 9 doesn't get hurt, East Duplin wins that football game. But that was just that one player that got hurt that they just could not afford to lose. And I can say the same thing about Clinton last season, man. I know there's some Reedsville fans that say, they were going to win the game regardless, but I would have loved to see us with a healthy Josiah McLaurin. And if you think Josiah
Mm,
McLaurin would not have made a difference, sir, you haven't watched that young man play football. Because in high
right.
school,
Sadly
in high
mistaken.
school, that young man was unstoppable, man. So, like I said, just little things like that happen, and that just alters your whole course. So, man, like I said, winning the state championship's hard, man. It's hard.
And, and that's a big part of it too. Like you got to have a little bit of a bench because these boys are going through it. It's hard to get a team to stay healthy all the way to the
Oh
state
yeah,
championship. It is very hard. It's just like when my nephew went. I mean, and this is a story of many, 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 many schools. Almost every year is somebody's story that they showed up with men
hmm
down. We played a very tough, very physical, probably overly physical Scotland County team when my nephew was at Cape Fear. We beat them and went to the state championship. Bro, we lost like 4 players in that game. Now, mind you, we already have 4, and I believe 3 were original starters that were on the sideline on knee carts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, them boys took a whooping all season. Went up there, seen Scotland County, and our quarterback got hurt. And our quarterback was a dog. I wish I could remember
I
that
know,
kid's name, and I
I
can't
know
remember his name to
exactly who you're
save my
talking
life.
about. I can't remember his name
Um,
either. Like Cam Newton type
bro, he
quarterback,
he was
man.
200 plus pounds and could flat
Yeah,
move.
yeah, yeah. I remember.
A huge, huge dude at quarterback. And bro, he could use one leg in the state championship. Like they tore his knee and ankle up in that Scotland County game, and he couldn't run a ball. And that was what he was known for. You had 200 plus pounds barreling at you in a quarterback. Not only did he have a gun, it could send that thing on down the field with ease. If he couldn't, he put that shoulder down and he was coming
Hey,
down through there. He won't no slide on the ground,
I
lay
gotta
down
I gotta look
quarterback.
this kid up, man. I
I
remember
mean,
exactly who you're talking about. I just can't. It's gonna bother me. I can't remember his name, so I gotta look him up.
But
I wish my nephew was on here. My nephew was on here. He'd have blurt
but
that
see,
thing out quick.
that's a
But but I mean, you got a quarterback that can only use one leg and refuses not to play. I mean, they gave the benefit of the doubt. The kid was a senior that year. They said, you know what? Hey, we're gonna run what we brung. And he couldn't run, but he brought it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but like I said, we already had several players on knee carts on the sideline, lost 2 or 3 players, and now our quarterback got, literally can only put weight on one leg. I mean, in the state championship. Yeah, they got the fire beat
Yo,
out
was
of
it?
them. They got the
It was
fire beat out
it
of them.
was it Justice Galloway Velasquez? Yeah,
Yes.
I remember. I remember him
Yes.
because Clint. We played Cape Fear the first game of the year, man. That's the one guy I was terrified of, man. I was like, yo, I mean, he was literally like a Cam Newton type quarterback, man.
Yep. Kid, I mean, dude was super intimidating in high school football. I mean, he was a body out there and he was the quarterback. Like, I mean, dude was a unit for real. So if you ever see this, hey, shout out to you, big dog. I ain't forgot you, and I
Yes,
forget a
sir.
lot of stuff.
I was yelling at the refs that game. I said, well, look, we need to check that kid's birth certificate. That's a grown man out there. That don't make no dang sense.
For real, for real, and just a good kid, dude. Good, humble, very polite, well mannered. I mean, just you could ask for a better person, and he just a flat ball player, man. Just and I mean, you got a kid out there with that kind of speed, that kind of power, and can only put weight on one leg as a quarterback. Like they still trusted him. I mean,
And that's
yeah,
basically what happened.
it's hard to stay healthy all
That's
the way
basically
there.
what happened with Nance, man. I mean, the one thing, I mean, if it would have been like a shoulder or something like that, he might have been able to kind of still, work his magic. But the fact that he had it was either what they say it was an ankle or a knee injury. And I mean, you talk about a dual threat quarterback, a quarterback that one of his strengths is using his legs, and you take that away from him, man. Of course, it's going to be a totally different offense. And then people forget how much your footwork and your legs go into passing. So even when he tried to pass the ball, he was off
Oh yeah,
target because I'm saying he was dealing with. I mean, I don't know what the severity of his injury is. I guess I could probably find out, but I mean, for him to still be out there trying to, play, I mean, that just shows the type of competitor he was, and I feel for the kid, man, because I mean, that was his senior year, his last chance, and I mean, I like I said, I felt like 71st healthy. Those two guys healthy, man. 71st wins that game. No
Yeah, he
disrespect,
played.
oh yeah,
He
no
played
disrespect to
injured.
West
He
Charlotte.
wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt. He played injured. There's a difference. There's a
Yeah,
difference. If
yeah.
you're hurt, if you're hurting or hurt, you can play. But if you're injured, you don't practice
yeah,
nor play. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
He
Like,
he literally he literally couldn't run.
Right.
Like that's why they was having PJ run a lot of Wildcat and stuff because he couldn't do
right.
his read option and stuff like that. Man, I mean, like I said, man, the ultimate competitor that he went out there and still toughed it out. Because I mean, like I said, man, you take Lamar Jackson's legs away from him. You know what I'm saying? It's just a totally different. It's what I mean, it's just what one of his strengths. You know what I'm saying? And taking that away, they just really hampered
That's
that offense.
that's like I was at that state championship game when Justice played. I was there. And bro, I remember before you would never know when he was going to take off running. He'd be square and tall, like he was fixing to let the ball go. Next thing you know, he was gone. And he went from that to you would see him like put his body in position to start the run. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah,
would lean down,
yeah,
lean heavy on his good leg and try to push off. By the third stride, he was already going down whether anybody was there or not.
yeah.
Like I mean, he couldn't handle it, bro. But I mean, hey, s- so some gave all. He's one of them.
Oh yes, sir.
He gave it all.
Yes, sir. Uh, cool, man. We're gonna change gears a little bit, man, and kind of go off the beaten path. I know we normally try to stick to high. Man, it's just too much big football going on this week, man. And of course, starting in maybe about 20-30 minutes, man, we got the college football playoff game, a semifinal game between Penn State and Notre Dame. But I just want to get you guys' thoughts on the college football playoff so far. How you think? What's your thoughts on it? I know a lot of people weren't happy with the. I know especially the first round, a lot of blowouts. So people were saying maybe 12 teams was too much. Another big point people been talking about is the teams with bye weeks. A lot of teams with bye weeks have been been getting beat. So I just want to see what you guys' thoughts on it. How have you guys enjoyed it? Have you checked out any games? And who are your picks this weekend as far as between Penn State and Notre Dame? And then tomorrow night, I think we got Texas and Ohio State. I know if Coach
Well,
Graham was up here, shout out to Coach Graham. I know Coach Graham going for, but I just want to get you guys' thoughts on college football playoffs so far.
I I didn't agree with two of the teams getting in to begin with. Alabama should not have been there first and foremost. Um, Texas is finding a way to win. I didn't have them in my Final Four. I had Notre Dame. I had Penn State. I had Ohio State, and my fourth team was I thought Boise was gonna go on a run, but I knew when they met a real team that the
Yeah,
true colors was
yeah,
gonna shine. So
yeah,
and that happened. So I'm really hoping Coach Freeman gets someone. It's been a long time since Notre Dame's held that trophy up. Such a historic program. It's just something I always told myself when I was younger. I'm a Florida Gator fan for football, for college. Always have been. But if I had a choice to go to any other college, or it would be Penn State because their fans are some of the best fans. Uh, Michigan, I love Michigan. I love their helmets, kind of like Hopner. You know what I mean? They
yeah,
got
yeah,
that
yeah,
Hopner helmet. But Penn State is just one of those schools. It's their fans are top tier. I hope Notre Dame wins it all. Me personally, But I don't see nobody beating slowing down Ohio State's high powered offense. Man, that dude is different. That dude is a alien, bro. I can't even explain him no better than that.
You talk about Jeremiah Smith?
Oh my God, that dude's an alien.
Yeah, that's
He's not
crazy.
real.
That kid was in no, it's crazy thing. That kid was in high school last year. Like, man, imagine you a defensive back and that's what line you line up against, man. I'm like, coach, come on now. We got to double team him and have the safety over the top, man. Because this man is he ain't like you said, man. He an alien, man. That man was constructed in a lab. That's a created player on Madden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all he's 99 across the board, man. Because every game I watch, like who's ever seen a number one seed get blown out like that in that fashion? The
Well,
game
we
was
we
over, and
well we
the
we
game
talk
was
about
over.
it's the same thing like we talk about with high school. It's hard to beat a good team two times in the same season. Oregon, beat them earlier this year, pretty good. And when I saw that matchup, I said I wouldn't be surprised to see Ohio State come out on top because I mean Ohio State's not a bad team, despite what the
Mm-mm.
what the Michigan fans going to say. But Ohio State not a bad team, man. Like I said, they got that high powered offense, and like I said, I got to piggyback off what you were saying, man. That's definitely that's the team I'm picking, not just because I'm rolling with my dog, Coach Dre, man, but I mean, I like Ohio State, man. That would be my pick if I had to pick a team to win national championship. That'd be my pick. But
I, I'm rolling with Notre Dame. I like Coach Freeman, man. He's a player's coach. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
and then I watched the interview on how he tries to integrate his family into the football like into the football program. He has his kids come out and be ball boys or ball girls during football practice. His wife, all the coaches' wives do something like once a week for the players, like
Okay.
make dessert or something for the player. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, he he said, I don't try to balance my family and the program. He said, I try to integrate it as one. And it creates that real family, bond between my family and the program and my coaches' family. That way, because coaches out here getting divorced left and right. If because the preparation it takes, even for high school programs,
oh
you
yeah.
know what I
The
mean?
time.
The time that you got to put in to your program is going to, turn out to be your success of that program. So, I mean, just everything that Coach Freeman stands for, and it's Notre Dame. You know what I mean? I remember
Yeah,
watching the Rudy movie back
I
in
was
the
about to say
day,
watching Rudy.
So I mean, and then the old Notre Dame box was something different back in the day that no one could stop when Notre Dame started running it. So, I would like to see Notre Dame come out on top in them gold helmets and then holding that gold trophy. You
Yeah,
know,
it's historic, man. It's like that's one of the original college football blue bloods.
right, right.
BB, man, what you got?
I've always been a secret
Oh
Ohio
my
State
God.
fan. Hey, look, man, look, don't do that. So you usually in football when I was all in the watching the college scene, I usually end up rocking with Ohio State at some point because my Tar Heels aren't always great on the football field.
Oh, damn. I'm
Which
about to
is
say
about to
that's,
change.
I'm
Brandon,
about to
you're
say
on mute.
are always, man. Look, growing up, man, I had to
Yeah,
hide. I had to conceal that I was a Tar Heel fan. Playing the old
right.
school.
But it's kind of like that in basketball too. Like when it comes down to the end, if we ain't in it, usually I end up rolling with like Kentucky or
What?
Ohio State. Usually, um,
Look,
what?
man, look.
Kentucky?
Ain't no real Carolina fan. Ain't no real Carolina fan rooting for Duke or NC State when they lose. That's
Ain't nobody worried about y'all being
man.
in the tournament this year, no
Nah.
way. So you might as well go and start rooting for Kentucky.
Hey,
Cause
look.
y'all
Hey, did I tell you go on mute? I told you go on mute.
Hey, look. One thing about me is I am not a delusional. I'm not a delusional fan. I call it like I see it, and Yeah, it's not looking too good for HD up there, man. We small ball, and I don't mean to go off on a tangent real quick, but small ball ain't it only works when it like I say it's hard to play that type of ball, man. Especially when you got going with all these athletic bigs and stuff right there. Like I ain't gonna lie, man. That big boy y'all got down there in the middle, man. He scared me to death. Y'all gonna pick and roll us to death. I already know. I already know.
He's not even our best defensive threat, though.
Nah, I mean
The,
I'm not.
the,
I'm talking about offensively, man. Y'all gonna do that little pick and roll. We gonna lob it up, and we ain't got nobody tall enough to even try to
hey,
defend that mess, man.
I will say this real quick. I know we're off subject, but N Jackson is that dude. That he should have never been coming off the bench. I'm gonna go ahead and say that off the top right now. That dude is the truth for y'all. RJ should have went somewhere last year because whatever draft stock or Shanghai Sharks draft stock he had is plummeting.
Hey, look, man. RJ gonna capitalize and get that bag one more. I ain't mad at him, man.
Right. But yeah, so anyway, back to football. Uh, nah, I've always been a little bit of a secret Ohio State fan. I hope they pull it out. Listen, I don't know a whole lot about what's going on. Y'all know I stay busy. I stay running behind these youngins, and now I got one that's playing travel volleyball with the Lava program down here in Roseboro. So we just spent about two, might as well say 3 days up at Virginia Beach playing a tournament. Man, I ain't got time to keep up with nothing. I barely know who I am half the time. So
Hey,
I
but
mean,
you can't beat that, man. Ain't nothing like a trip to the beach.
Yeah.
hey man, I needed it. That view off the balcony was something amazing. I'm not a huge fan of Virginia Beach, but man, it was nice to look across the ocean. I'll tell you how much I enjoyed it. I woke up the next morning knowing it was at least 30 degrees outside, maybe been a little colder. I said, bro, I need this wake up right here. I went out on the balcony and nothing but my shorts. I just stood there in the freezing cold. I didn't even bother. I went straight to the balcony, just stood there, just staring across the water until I started shaking so bad my eyes was watering. I couldn't see real good no more. And I was like, okay, I need to go in. Like, I'm awake.
Hey,
Let
well,
me
look,
get ready.
don't
Like,
try that this
man,
weekend.
it was nice. And dude, I'm gonna tell you,
Y'all got some snow coming.
hey, if I was there, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
like
they say it's gonna be. They say it ain't gonna make it down to us. I don't know if I believe them or not. They usually say that, and then I lose power
Oh
about
man.
3 days.
yeah, this weekend
Um,
if you walk outside on the balcony somewhere, you're liable to turn into a woman for about 5 minutes.
hey, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I started to do, and I opted against it. Once I stood out there on that balcony long enough, I said, okay. I started to do a plunge.
Oh no.
Um, I was gonna go out there and jump in. And I was like, the wind was blowing so bad, y'all. I ain't even playing. The wind was blowing so bad. I was like, there is no way. I was like, I will freeze to the sidewalk before I make it back in here. But I wanted to do it, but yeah, I didn't have the guts to see that one through.
They say
And not to mention the night before, it started sleeting. It was sleeting and snowing on us the night before. So I was like, buddy, I was like, nah, I'm
look,
gonna
they say it's
pass.
good for you, man.
But
If you got some
I'm gonna tell you,
injuries
I
and
stay
joints
busy.
and stuff, man, go ahead and take that plunge real quick.
Oh yeah. Hey, it's good for you anyway, man. Like they say, when your body hits them cold temperatures like that, your liver
Hey, look,
releases a
hey,
chemical that it only
you know,
like
say, hell
basically it's
no.
like a life saving mechanism.
You should be like, hell
And
no.
like I look, I know a few people that do it like every morning, and they swear that it's the best thing they've
I'm
ever
gonna
started doing. I've been tempted,
I'm
I
gonna
just ain't
try
made
it.
it there yet.
Like I said, we going on this cruise later on this month, and one of the things we're gonna do like a little thermal spa. Like I ain't never did no spa before, but I'm doing it,
What?
with the wife. Yeah. I'm gonna try it out. And they got they got the cold tub and they got the warm tub, so you're supposed to get into the
Oh yeah.
cold tub and hop in the warm. Probably good for your joints and stuff. So I'm gonna try that. I don't know how cold it is. It look cold.
Oh yeah, man.
And I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you something.
Hey, but yeah, I miss a lot staying busy, dude. But I'm telling you, there ain't nothing I'd trade,
That
for the
family
time
time,
I
yeah, that
get with the
family
family
time.
and watching my kids do what they love. There ain't nothing on TV or nowhere else that
She
I
got
know
that.
of that make me
She got
miss
that
any of
Blackwell look back, man. She did the picture you had showed us doing the look back.
right.
that.
Like what'd you say?
Boy, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna
It's
have
like,
to see y'all. I'm gonna have to see y'all a picture. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she went with us. She snapped a picture of her. She's on our side of the net, standing there. The girl on the other side of the net was head and shoulders taller than Skylar. And she's standing there with her hands up, like staring down at the top of Sky's head. The Sky's got her hands on her hips, just staring her right in the face. And I
oh
mean, it's a
man,
perfect picture. And she was like she just like my daughter was so impressed. She was like, look at my sister just standing there
un-
unfazed. Like,
unbothered.
I do not care how big you are,
That's
girl.
the
Like,
black. That's the Blackwell right there, and right
Yeah,
there.
for real.
that's that Blackwell in her right there. Does not care. Like,
Oh, man.
oh man, the dance moves though. She got them from my mama. I have
Oh
to see
yeah.
y'all the videos,
She
but
she
hey, they out there doing the worm on the court. She was out there. Like, look, the ref was taking too long doing whatever he was doing. Everybody else standing there looking either at their coach or at the up ref, waiting on him to give a signal. She's over there TikTok dancing on the court, just in her own little world,
Hey,
doing her own
listen,
thing.
hey, look,
But man, I knew once I saw that side of her come out, I said she's
oh
fixing to
yes,
play ball. And man, she went from she went from playing as an outside hitter. She would come off the court when it was time for her to be on back row. They'd bring another girl in, like it was basically the libero would come in and play back row, and then when it was time for her to go back to the front, Sky would come back in. Man, the game that we ended up winning, Skyland played the whole court. Like she actually stayed in the whole rotation. And once that happened, like I seen the true her. We finally won a game. Um, but now when I say that Lava's a great program, this is a brand new team. There's one girl on this team that's played travel before. So they're gonna take their lumps and bruises. You know what I'm saying? They've gotta
oh yeah.
they've got to work through that, figure each other out. But by the end of the tournament, man, it looked like a total different set of girls out there, dude. I mean, man, we didn't leave down there after 8 o'clock.
Well, look, that's what's up. Man.
It was a long
Look,
night.
at least you know, man. She's that competitive side's coming out in the best part, man. She's having fun, man. That's what youth sports and everything. And at the end of the day, man, gotta have fun what you're doing.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's what I told her right before that last game. That you could tell she was in her feelings, she was in her nerves. Very first tournament she's ever been to, their first tournament of the season. And I told her, I said, hey, I was like, y'all lost every game yesterday. I was like, you lost the first one tonight. I was like, just have fun. I was like, enjoy it. You're here. This is what we're doing. I was like, get out of your head, get out of your feelings. I was like, and just have fun. And man, she did. She next thing you know, she was dancing and
that's
cutting
what's up.
up, and I was like, there's Scotland. And after that, hey, we played some ball. All the girls started to lighten up a little bit. She was kind of getting everybody, out of their heads. And, they see her relax, and everybody just kind of, started relaxing and just playing volleyball, dude. And I know this ain't a volleyball podcast. I'm sorry,
Oh
y'all. I'm
no
proud of my
no
lady.
no no, it's
Um,
all no, it's all good. Nah, it's all good, bro. Talk your talk. But I always felt players always played their best when they're most relaxed. So that was always my biggest issue, man. I was always too tense because I was too busy trying to impress somebody. But that's another story, man. But
yep.
um
Yep.
another little thing I wanted to touch on before we moved on as far as college sports goes, man. I know another big thing that was going on these bowl games, especially the lesser bowl games, or guys, kids, college players sitting out the bowl games and the fans' reactions. Now, my thing, man, everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone knows like where this all started, right? The Jalen Smith injury back in the day. I mean,
Yep.
Notre Dame linebacker, played for Dallas Cowboys eventually, but he gets injured in a bowl game. I mean, he was a top 5 pick. Some people say he might have went number 1. Top 5 pick, had a devastating injury in the bowl game. I mean, at one point in time, man, because I think he tore his MCL, ACL, and his
And
meniscus,
PCO.
PCL. I mean,
Yeah.
everything was tore. I mean, forget playing football. They was wondering if he was going to walk again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And eventually he recovered, and I mean, he got drafted, and he made a pretty good living for himself. But he never really played up to the level where they thought he was going to play at. You know what I'm saying? But that's when guys start sending out these lesser bowl games. Like if you're not playing in a national championship or playing in the college football playoff, and you're slated to be a top draft pick, a lot of these guys are sitting out. Just saying, okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm preserve myself and start getting ready for the draft. And a lot of fans are really getting at these kids negatively. I noticed a lot of Carolina fans were dogging Omari and Hampton out. Carolina star running back sat out the bowl game against UConn, and I don't even what was it called, the Fenway Bowl? Like I never even heard this bowl before. they
I don't
they
think it have made a difference anyway.
yeah, I mean honestly, and I don't think it would have, but like I mean like fans just dogging this kid out, uh, and I mean for the last 3-4 years, man, that kid's been on the field every. I mean, done great things at Carolina. Been an All American. Um, could have easily transferred and went somewhere and won games, but he stayed
Right.
in Chapel Hill. But you got these fans up here dogging them, calling them disloyal, calling them all types of names, telling them things need to change. These kids they need to sign a contract. They need to make sure they fulfill every. And my whole thing is, man, a lot of people just don't like the players having any type of power. Coaches, a college coach could get a new job right there before bowl season and skip the bowl game, and nobody bats an eye. But a kid sits out a game trying to preserve his future playing. I mean, it's y'all. I mean, we can say all games and all bowls matter, but I mean, let's be real. Uh, the it's the Fenway Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it's not a college football playoff game, it's really a meaningless bowl game at this point in time. And like I said, man, they treating this like it's a business, man. They got to preserve what, because me or you ain't gonna pay their bills if they can't make it to the league. You know what I'm saying? And y'all could talk. They could talk about NIL money and this, that, and third all the time. But I mean, like I said, kid made a business decision. I don't think he should be faulted for it. Same thing for any kid that makes that decision. Because like I said, coaches do it all the time, and you never hear about it. But I don't
What?
know if you guys have any opinions or anything on that. Just something I was noticing, man. It kind of rubbed, like I said, kind of rubbed me the wrong way, man. Seeing people talk down on this kid and others.
I think I think the only player that I probably felt some type of way about was Miami quarterback Cam Ward.
Yeah, that was that was kind of.
That was jacked up.
He came in. Listen, let me get this
Yeah.
record real quick. Let me get this.
Right. And then he just gonna quit on your team in the stick. And now I read something where he had said he had talked to the coaches and his teammates that he was just gonna play the first half. If I was a teammate, I'm like, bro, you either gonna play the whole game or you just don't worry about it so we can prep the right way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Don't
yeah,
don't
yeah,
come play the
yeah.
first half and then throw us to the wolves because they haven't played without Cam Ward all season.
Hey,
That was jacked up.
I forgot about that. Now that's different right there. That's different. My man said, I'm gonna come in real quick, get this record. Then y'all boys, y'all boys, I holler at y'all boys.
All that right, and then they end up losing. Miami ends up losing. So that
I was gonna kind of point out, kind of what B's talking about. I was gonna say, like, I think that needs to be not just a player decision. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that needs to be discussed. Like coaches, the team, they need to be involved. And if they agree to it and they prepare for it, then cool. But you done been to practice this whole time and nobody ain't been getting no reps, and now you just like, oh nah, bro, I don't think I'm gonna play in that.
Yeah,
Nah,
Nah,
I
but
man,
ain't.
dude,
I ain't with.
nah.
Now that's a little different situation. I'm not. I don't agree with the 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing. Like I'm gonna play this half and just get this record real quick. Then I'm gonna slide. But yeah, I don't agree
and
with that.
and
Like you either play the full game or you know
and,
just sit it out.
and then
Don't
Malik
do it for a record, bro.
and then Malik Murphy for Duke. This man transfers right before the bowl game.
Oh,
We got like a guy.
it's a lot of people that a lot of people they I don't know. It's weird. They opened that first transfer that first period right there before bowl season because we had some guys that sat out
Yep.
before the because they were transferring. It was a lot of guys that sat out because they're in the transfer portal as well. So I don't. I say it's weird how they have it like that. You know,
I
they
mean, I
I know,
it
man. I
should
be getting mad when I be playing my
oh
dynasty. I be playing my
your
dynasty,
boy
bro, and then
you want to
they be
transfer.
like, giving me job offers. Like, hey, I worked my butt off to get this team to the bowl game, and now you gonna give me a offer I can't refuse, but I got to take it right now before we even get to play the bowl
Yeah,
game. Like, that's
that's what I'm saying.
crappy, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I
Like,
pointed out. Coaches will get a new job and they'll skip the bowl game all the time because,
mm-hmm.
like I said, they gotta get a head start on hiring staff and you got to recruiting some battlefield. You got to get right into it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, coaches do it. No one bats an eye. So take it easy on the players, man. Like I said, no one really did it. You never really heard anybody doing it like that until Jalen Smith's injury back in I think it was like 2015, and that's when it started to become a trend. So, and it's not going away. So people might as well just kind of get used to it, man. It's not going away. But
And
shout out to them boys out there in Colorado for actually playing. I was really surprised to see Shadir Sanders. Shadir Sanders and Travis Hunter actually play in that bowl game. But I mean, shout out to them. Everybody doesn't do it, but some people do. It's like I said, it's up to them. How they feel.
that I think it's different being coached by a
Yeah,
player's
that's
coach. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. By like somebody
you,
like
you,
Coach Prime, man.
yeah. And then something else in college football that could change the scape of this transfer thing is really about to get crazy because now your 2 years at JUCO don't even count towards your 4 years at a Division One. So you
No,
can go
you.
2 years to so you can
Yeah, I
go two
saw
years
that.
to JUCO, then you can redshirt before you get to your D1. Then then you go into your 4 years after your redshirt freshman, so that's your five. Then you can go with your fifth year graduation, fifth year. So that's right. That's 8 years right there already, right? So
So
you
it's
you
been
you
close
could
to it.
potentially play 9 to 10 years of college football if you wanted to.
So you think you'll see
Why?
a growing? You'll see more kids probably go JUCO now to take advantage of that.
All right. So
look, it's always been a smart move, but
you
now
remember
Definitely.
when we
it's
were in school?
dumb
Like
not
when
to.
when we were in school, we really didn't know much about JUCO. It was either D1 or bust for us. You know what I mean? Like we all wanted to go D1 or it was nothing. So I mean, now that JUCOs have become so much bigger in the college landscape, where you can go to JUCO and be on an NIL deal at a JUCO. Then you play your 2 years at JUCO, develop, get stronger, bigger, faster. You leave there, but you're gonna play 2 years at JUCO to keep your 4 years of eligibility in D1. So after that, you go to your D1, and if just say you get hurt your freshman year in D1, okay, you can redshirt. You can still got 2 or 3 more years to come back and get your draft stock up. And if you're under NIL deal, you're still getting paid while getting the education. That see, people get the misconception of the NIL. They brought that along so kids would stay in school longer to develop and also graduate and get their diplomas. That was the main concept of the NIL deal. You know what I mean? To help these kids' family, there's a lot of guys coming from high school to college have babies,
Hmm.
and to help their families. And okay, Good. You have a pre-made family as a freshman in college. Here's some money. Boom. We're gonna pay you X amount of dollars over the next 4 years or 3 years that you're gonna be here. Get your degree. We'll help you out with this money situation. Now you have a degree, something to fall back on if you don't work out in the pros. That's what the whole NIL deal. I'm totally for the NIL deal, but it has to be.
Oh yeah,
I think there has to be a thing to where certain rules and guidelines have to be strictly enforced. You know what I mean?
You know, and Brendan, if I'm not mistaken, I think you could do 3 years in
No,
JUCO.
not the
I,
new rule is 2 years JUCO to get your 4 years at a D1.
okay, I thought it was 3. I have to look at it again. But another side of that NIL stuff that a lot of people probably don't think about. Um, so like just take our area for instance. Like most of our families out here, they're not wealthy. They don't
Right.
have money like that. Like most of us are below the national average as far as the jobs that we're in, the income per household. Like most of these families out here are. So now think about the offers that most of these kids are getting. Most of these kids are not getting D1 offers. They're getting twos, threes, fours. Well, the only people that's putting out full ride scholarships is D1 colleges. So now you might have a D2 or a D3 college that's offered your kid and he wants to accept it, but you can't afford to pay the rest of the tuition. You see what I'm saying? But if NIL deal comes along, all of a sudden there's the money and this kid could go to this school. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like that could be all the difference in this kid even being in a situation to pursue their future or
He,
not. You know what
even
I'm
if he's
saying?
not
Like,
an NFL, caliber player, he's still gonna be able to get a degree, break a generational curse to help take care of his family.
yeah, for sure. You know, and so I mean that's just another thing, man, that I've thought about a lot because I know some people that got some offers and they can't afford to
Right.
accept it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it sounds crazy, but they got a dream dangling right there in front of their face and can't do nothing with it.
that
You know
sucks,
what I'm
man.
saying? Can't do nothing with it.
Yeah, that
But
sucks.
I mean,
But
so
that's another reason why I like the new rule because now there's a lot of JUCOs. I don't know if y'all seen that Netflix series with the JUCO colleges and stuff.
So last
Have
chance you.
Last Chance U, have you seen some of their facilities? They look like absolute garbage, right? So now that the NCAA has changed its rule, this is going to bring a lot of funding to more colleges, and it's going to help these facilities get better and creating way more opportunities, not only for players of higher caliber, but, and I'm not saying we don't have players of high caliber, but we don't get seen as much. But these players can go to these JUCOs and have nice facilities as well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Especially with all this new NIL deal and funding. So I'm all for it, and I love it for the kids, and I just hope they put some rules and regulations behind it to where things don't get out of hand. Like that Tulane quarterback that's transferring over to Duke, they're paying this kid $4 million for the next 2 years.
mm.
4 million a year for a college quarterback.
pull that
Hey,
stunt with
but
me.
Mm.
look. Hey, I'm all. Hey, look. Like I said, man, I'm all about players having more power. So I love the NIL because, like I said, man, for years these colleges were making millions
Billions.
off these kids, millions, and people still keep on throwing that same. Well, they're getting a free education still. Those colleges were making I mean, like millions of dollars
But
off of between TV deals, between ticket sales, between merchandise, all that stuff, man. And
Let
like I
Jeremiah
said,
Smith
it
let Jeremiah Smith go out there and get
bro,
hurt, and there was no NIL money. Who's gonna take care
they
of
go,
his family for the rest of his
they,
life
they,
if he's not able to play football at that level no more?
they'll be like, hey, appreciate you. Go ahead and clean that locker out so we can make move room for the next one. That's that's
There you
that's how they
go.
used to treat. That's how
yep,
they used to treat these kids, man. So that's why when I
yeah.
see
And
oh
who's going?
when I see Omarion Hampton, sit out a bowl game to chill out and make sure he good for the draft. I'm not mad at him because if he got hurt, UNC gonna be like, well, go ahead and will him to the locker room. Next running back, come on in. That's like
Yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, you got to think, and if you think everybody you see on the football field out there is getting a free education, you're
yeah,
sadly
everybody ain't on
mistaken.
scholarship.
Mm-mm.
Nah, they don't have so many
Yeah.
scholarships to offer every
They'll hook you over.
season.
They'll
You
hook
know
you
what I'm
over
saying?
PWO.
Yeah,
That preferred
you don't believe me?
waffle.
Look up some videos.
I mean, it's got a lot of
When you
financial
Yeah,
see them,
aid, but
yeah, you
yeah, I
it's
damn
know
right.
what we're talking about, man. Those videos where they finally award a kid a scholarship, man.
dude
Them
was
kids,
Yeah,
crying.
them dudes be so happy.
yeah. Hey, look, man, that kid Bennett, that a lot of them boys, and you'll hear them kind of tell their story. That kid been at the college, working out with the football team every day, going to all his classes and working at night, trying to have some money, trying to do, and they alleviate that pressure off that kid when
Oh
they hand
yes,
him
sir.
And
Oh,
then
that full ride.
straight
I
tears,
mean,
son.
I, yeah, I mean, you can see it. So if you think for 1 second that NIL ain't making a difference or it's not good for these kids, you're sadly mistaken. I mean, I just tell you, like for instance, like my nephew when he was in school, uh, he was doing the same thing. They were having 2-a-day practices. He'd get up in the morning, he'd go to his practice, he'd come home, take a shower, eat, go to class. When he got out of class, he'd come home, change back into whatever he needed to wear for practice. It was back at practice. He'd leave practice and go to work. He'd get home from work. It'd be 1 o'clock in the morning. He's sitting there trying to do homework. To be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, he'd be ready for practice at 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you take a kid that's going through it like that, and then say, "Hey, man, here's a full ride. You ain't got to do that no more,
and then
bro."
Woo,
You let an NIL step in and say, "Hey, man,
woo.
here's
That's a
X amount of
blessing right there.
dollars." You know what I'm saying? Now you got money in your pocket, and you ain't got to
Yes,
worry about that
sir.
no more.
you go
Like,
look at
that's a
you go
life
look at the
changer,
top
man.
5 earners in college football right now. Quinn Quinn Ewers, I think he's like number 2 or something like that. It's like 5 million a year or something like that. Shadur
Mm,
Sanders, and then that basketball player, or she a volleyball player. She's number 5 on the list. It's like 2.3 a year,
mm.
$1 million. You tell me that's not life changing
Right.
for a family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
real quick.
some of these
Yeah.
guys that are making these millions of dollars are actually helping their teammates, like them walk on.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
That's something like Sanders
Hmm.
got going on. Like he does a pool, like a donation pool. Like he brings money in and splits it
Right.
between the guys and
Sure.
make sure they're
He
good, make
sure
sure they're taken
does.
care
I
of. You
think
know
that's
what I'm saying?
I think
It's
Travis Hunter
family,
was
bro.
doing that too, wasn't he? Because I mean, that joker get
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
got so much money off of his social media stuff and streaming and stuff that I think he was donating his NIL checks to his teammates.
Yeah, he was.
Hey,
I,
real
Mhm.
quick, hey, Brandon, man, your cousin. I'm sorry to go off the subject. Your cousin is blowing up on this poll, man. All I'm getting
he,
notifications. I'm getting notifications, right? All I'm seeing is Kiwan Maynard, Kiwan Maynard, Kiwan.
I think Tobias was leading like right before the going. He had like 260 something.
Yeah, like the last
Mm.
20 comments I got, like people are commenting, and I just keep on saying Kiwan Maynard, Kiwan Maynard, Kiwan
Dang.
Maynard. Hey,
It's gonna
look,
be
hey,
close between it's him, Jaden, Tobias, and Kiwan with the
hey,
most.
look. I'm telling you right now, do not count out. Uh, I believe that's Kamari McNeil's mom. She's gonna be up here every day. Like if I was running for a political office, she would be my campaign manager because she
Hmm.
gonna be up here every day getting everybody. I mean, she does it every. She already started, but she's gonna be up here tomorrow morning. She does it every day. Like she gets everybody involved, man. So I mean, shout out to these parents, man. These parents going hard for their babies, man.
And I
Like
honestly
I said,
voted
that's
for
what, that's
everybody.
what we like to see. That's what we like to see.
I voted for everybody, to make it fair. I put a vote in for everybody.
Yeah, I tried. Like I said, I try not to be. I mean, we're all gonna be biased, man. I'll tell you who I voted for. Like I mean, I voted for Reggie Thompson because of of the stats he put up. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah,
led the state in basically every you know
receiving.
every receiving number. And like I said, I hate it for and like I said, we've talked about stuff like this before, man. I hate it for kids like him because a lot of times like this, it's a popularity contest, and you get a player that's that good, but on a team that's either bad or mediocre, and you don't really hear nothing about him. More people should be talking about that kid, man. That kid is 6 foot.
Yes.
He's 6'3", what 190, 195. I mean, great speed, great hands. I mean, everything that you would look for in a prototypical wide receiver, and he, like I said, led the state in all these categories, and no one's talking about him. But
He's actually a great route runner.
if
That's
he
what
was
makes him
it,
a great.
oh, I'm
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
man. No, I was just saying, like, if he was at Northeastern, or if he was at Reedsville, or he was at Shelby, or someplace else out west, or somewhere with a bigger name or a better record, everyone will be talking about him. But no one's talking about this kid, man. I don't understand. It just we talked about this before. A ton of different players, man. It perplexes me, man. Like I said, you got a kid right here, a dominant rough man. You better like you might want to get on board. If you're a scout, recruit anybody, you might want to get on board with this kid, man. Like he's in for a big senior year, but that was my unbiased vote. Of course, my biased vote is, man, I'm rolling with my boy out of Clinton, best linebacker in the state of North Carolina. That's uh Jaden J Bird, Mr. Williams, y'all should call him. Cause like I said, man, you know, despite what happens on the field, man, 1-5 gonna slide it. He gonna put that hit stick to you. And looking forward to a big year from him. Uh, like I said, I get labeled as a Clinton hater by some people, which couldn't be no further than the truth. But I'm always going to support my dark horses, man. So definitely had to put in for Jaden Williams, man. But yeah, like you said, man, I'm probably go ahead and give a vote for everyone just to make sure everyone's getting some love shown. But those were my two, my two top picks. You know, that I was looking at. Of course, you can't got to talk about Hassan, man. Like we talked about earlier, Hassan to over 200 tackles in the season, man. That's like crazy numbers, man. Stuff that more people should be talking about. Why is nobody talking about this? Like I'm looking all over, high school OT and everything. Why is nobody talking about this? Like, when's the last time you heard somebody get 200 tackles in the season?
Mm.
I don't think I ever heard of it.
Yeah, dude was nasty, man.
but But
I don't think so.
loving all the attention that we're seeing on the Player of the Year poll, man. Y'all keep on voting, keep on supporting, keep on sharing. And while you're coming, if you're new here and you're coming over to vote, man, make sure you give us a like, share, and a follow as well, man. But yeah, I know, I'm sorry we got off track, man. I just kept on seeing it pop up on my phone. It was just straight Kiwan Mainers all. I'm like, dang, dude. And it was all from different people. Like, damn, who? I was like, hey, Brandon, your cousin.
Hey, so that was my two votes. I voted for my RB1 Tobias, of course, and then of course I was gonna vote for my cousin. And not just because he's my cousin, but because he actually, he's an athlete. He plays just about every position you tell him to play. Um,
Oh yeah,
and let's keep a lookout for his little brother. He's coming up next year, so he'll probably play JV his first year, but he's definitely a problem too. So that was my two
oh yeah,
picks, but I still, like I said, I went down and showed everybody some love, man. Every one of them guys,
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
they left it all out on the field all year long. Um, so I gave everybody some love as well. It's just it was the only right thing to do.
Oh yeah. And I mean, so far, man, we got almost it's over 1,300 people have voted. So, and the poll's only been up for a day, man.
Not
So
even a day.
that's great, man. We love to see. Yeah, that's saying
Like
been
12 hours.
it hasn't even been 24 hours yet, man. So appreciate that, man. Love to see all the participation, man. Keep on voting, showing these kids love. Tell everybody about it.
Post it.
Oh
Oh,
man,
matter of fact, everybody that sees it, man, share it to your TikTok, share it to your Instagram, Snapchat. Get us out there as well. You know, I mean, not only you helping these young men, but you're helping, us as well. I mean, we're like Chris said, we're now independent. So help us out too.
Hey, and not to mention, man, like people online look at football stuff all the time. You know, you might be the one to put the right hashtag or whatever that gets seen by some college coach or a recruiter or some sort. That you might be the one to put some of these kids on the
oh
map.
yes,
It's worth giving it a share for sure, whether it helps us or not. Man, look, if we get one kid recognized and got up out of here,
Yeah, that's a win.
job well done. Like that's our goal, man, to see these kids
Get that
get what they want.
education.
If they want it, we
Right.
want them to have it. Yep. I mean, so y'all pump it up.
hey, real quick, anybody watching the Penn State Notre Dame game? Give me a score update.
Please. Hold on. Can you tell me the score of the Notre Dame Penn State game? I got you. Just a second.
Uh, for our next topic, man, real quick, I wanted to touch base on some pro stuff, man. We got NFL Wildcard weekend coming up. Should be a lot of great games. Y'all got Super
Zero
Bowl
zero.
picks. Oh yeah,
Hey,
that's probably gonna be a defensive game.
I'm going Detroit. I'm going Detroit, man.
Detroit.
I'm rolling with them already. I'm rolling with them like, hey, coach.
Hey,
Hey,
I will
coach
say
got
that.
them.
I will say there's no more deserving fan base, man. Look, Detroit been through some rough, some rough years. Hey, look, and then I would say this, man. All my time, even when I was in the military, man, I've only known one um, Detroit Lion fan, man. Shout out to my boy Cruz Bell, man. The loyal Detroit Lion fan, they deserve this. They deserve this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't speaking on the team. I'm just talking about that fan base, man. To go through the seasons that they had to go through. I mean, you lost traditional players before their time, but who retired because it was just too much. And I'm talking about Barry Sanders. I'm talking about Calvin Johnson. You know, you had two generational athletes, man, and they just said, "I can't."
Megatron.
Right.
They left before their time because they just couldn't take it. And then, of course, they've been
Hey,
one of the teams,
Well,
I,
they ain't done nothing since like the early '90s, have they?
since Barry Sanders.
man.
Even when Megatron was there, they didn't win over eight eight or nine games.
That's why that man
Right.
retired early. He retired about 4 or 5 seasons before he could. I mean, that man was in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Barry Sanders. That man was they were in their prime, and Detroit just sucked the life out.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So I'll say this: there's no more deserving fan base, man. That city, that team, that franchise, and I love that coach, man. I love Dan Campbell, man. He's a player's coach. Um, they definitely deserve it. But my dad would probably hate me for agreeing with you on that one. I like Detroit, but in my heart of hearts, I'm rooting for Green Bay, but it don't look too good for us, man. We got to play Philly this weekend, so that's gonna be tough.
And Watson's
Um,
down. And Watson
yeah,
gone. So
yeah,
uh, I just think, and then on the AFC side, it's hard to beat Patrick Mahomes in those red and white stripes, not black and white, because it seems like
last
Wait,
year they
who?
made me look stupid.
Uh,
They made me look incredibly stupid. My first couple episodes with 810 Studios last year, I was doing playoff games, and I kept on picking against Kansas City. And each week I had to come back like, well, I got that one wrong. I, I I'm not gonna pick against. I'm not gonna pick against Patrick Mahomes and someone beats him, but yeah. So Detroit, Kansas City, Super Bowl. I definitely can see that. Oh, I don't know, but B, I know you say you probably don't. I know you a Kansas City fan, but I know you probably ain't been checking it out like that. So I know you probably ain't got too much to say, huh?
Nah, I would love to see it come down to the Bay and them Chiefs though. Um, that would be dope. Um, and it's just because like I pull for both teams. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife's a Green Bay fan. I got family in
Okay,
Wisconsin, so I've always been a smidge of a Green Bay fan
okay.
myself. But yeah, I got family all out there, man. Matter of fact, some of them just moved here. I'm waiting on the rest of them to fly south for the winter. But
Yeah, that's a
but
different type
yeah,
of
man, it's
cold up there.
You got
I've
the
yeah, for sure.
I've been stationed in the Midwest, man. That's a different type of winter.
hey. Hey, what they
Yeah.
say, you got to
So
buy a jacket from
so
there.
actually like
Yeah,
You got to
you
buy a
gotta buy
jacket from there.
for the
you better
long
buy your jacket from there for there. You can't buy something in North Carolina and wear it out there and think it's gonna be
nah,
Be that raw,
rip that little
but
cheese apart.
yeah,
be some pills.
um but I kind of would like to see Detroit in it, man, just because it's been so long.
I think they have a
Like
good chance because I mean
Uh,
M- Montgomery will be back, so he's been cleared, and that two-headed monster back there with him and Gibbs, and I mean you got
Gibbs a beast, man. God.
yeah, but it's it's
what
it's,
is
it's kind of like when Carolina Panthers had
what's
Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo
D'Angelo
Williams.
Williams, double trouble,
Yeah,
baby.
so I mean, and then they got a passing attack with St. Brown and them. The only thing is with Detroit, their defense is banged up, but offensively they can go they can go touchdown for touchdown with Kansas all day long.
And plus, they said if they were to make it to the Super Bowl, that Hutchinson would be back.
Yeah,
You know, he had that leg injury. He said if they made it to the Super Bowl, he could possibly play in that. Man, that's crazy. But yeah, we'll talk more in the weeks to come, man. But if you're a football, and I was talking on it earlier, man. If you're a football fan, you're having a great time this weekend because from tonight, through Monday night, man, you got a lot of great football. You got the college football playoffs, NFL wildcard weekend. It's gonna be some good football on this weekend. But
do not
uh,
count out Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson's Ravens. You cannot count them two out either in the AFC.
oh no.
no?
Josh Allen is playing some of the best football he's played in the past 2 years. His
So
completion percentage is up.
would you give him the
I'm just
MVP
saying,
over Lamar? Would you give him the MVP
uh,
over Lamar?
not this year. Not this year.
They
I,
they
I just
talking
think
like they talk. I don't understand. I don't understand it, but they're talking because Lamar had I think he got better numbers overall, but they're steady pushing Josh Allen. I just think they don't want to give it Lamar 2 years in a row because he won it last year, and this
and see this
will be his third
and see this is the thing.
for.
I don't like when these commentators get on these shows and they say that, well, he's just another typical black quarterback that likes to run the ball. Okay. So this year he comes in, boom, he sits in the pocket and he's throwing this thing downfield and he's being accurate with it. Now, oh, well, Lamar Jackson's back here passing the ball and he's just not utilizing his legs. And this, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Hey,
You know what I
look,
mean? Like,
that's ESPN commentators in any major sports analyst in a nutshell, man. You damned if you do, damned if you don't.
so I think
Yep.
this year, to me, if any year was to be his MVP year, this will be Lamar's best year of football in the NFL that I've watched him play. because he just doesn't take off after his first progression. He actually goes through his three progressions, and if it's not there, he'll try to stretch the play. And if he can't stretch the play, then he takes off. So to me, this is his best year of football, just like Josh Allen. Josh Allen has shown that not only is he a pocket passer, but my man is sneaky fast and sneaky shifty. So I mean, really, I wouldn't be mad if either one of them got it, honestly. But I think Jackson has proved all the doubters wrong that he is this prototypical black scrambler, that they labeled him to be. He is a great quarterback, and people just need to start realizing that. So I would definitely I wouldn't be mad if Lamar Jackson went back to back on MVPs, and I wouldn't be mad if Josh Allen got it. So just like I wouldn't be surprised if one of those teams upset at Kansas City because it can be done the way Buffalo's been playing defense and the way Josh Allen's been playing in the last 5 minutes of games. Same with Lamar. The last 5 minutes of close games, Lamar has closed, which back in, a year or two ago, he's been known to kind of stall out right there in the last 5 minutes because he would take off and not go through his progressions. So, it's crazy how much a year can do to go in and put the work in. And it's like I watched a video of Mike Tomlin the other day, and I was talking to Coach Oates today, and I was telling him the same thing that I had seen. He asked these high school students that or college students, he was like, how many of y'all are here fast? How many of y'all in here can jump? How many in here are really strong? And all these people were raising their hand. He said it doesn't matter. It's not what you can do, it's what you're willing to do. If you're willing to go out, if you're
That's
willing
right.
to go in and put the work in, it's gonna show on Sunday, Saturday, and Friday night.
Oh yeah.
So I think the football playoffs is open in the AFC because there's so many great teams in the AFC this year. The NFC is pretty much kind of locked up with Detroit. To me, I really don't see nobody scoring, keeping up with 30, 40 points against them in the NFC. I mean, even Baker Mayfield and them can't even. And I mean, Baker Mayfield's come on hot right here the last 3 or 4 games this season. You know, dude's throwing 400 yards, 3 to 4 touchdowns a game, but he really hasn't played nobody but divisional NFC South bottom of the barrel teams right now. So I really don't see nobody in the NFC competing against Detroit at all. So it's
You know who they need?
who?
I'll tell you who they need. They need Taylor's boyfriend. That's who they need.
Oh,
I wish he'd go play for him.
I'm just tired of seeing. I'm
I,
gonna
I, ju-
say
I just
this. I'm so tired of watching NFL football and having to see her face. Like I don't know.
well, I used to feel the same way. I used to feel the same way until they started talking so much about her boyfriend. And then I was like, you know what? I'd rather recognize her than him. Like, and I can't stand Swift, but boy, her boyfriend. There's something about him gets under my skin. As soon as I see his face, it just he the only thing I don't like about the Chiefs. He's
He's a big contributor.
the
He's a big
only thing
contributor to your Chiefs.
he is. But at what cost?
Hey,
At what
Taylor
cost?
Swift, you got to become a Swifty to be a Chief now.
Nah, not. Never see that.
Oh man.
Never
You got
see
to be a
that.
Swifty to be a
Bro, I
Chief
got
fan.
attacked. I got attacked
What's
by.
up?
You got
I
to be
got
a
a.
Swifty to be a Chief fan.
Man, shoot. Hey,
Nah.
look, Brandon, y'all family's deep, son. Let me tell you something. Y'all family deep. The last 20 comments has been Kiwan Maynard.
Hey,
They got them out, boy. Everybody coming out the woodwork, son.
hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Hey, if he's one of the finalists, he deserves it. So,
Can you see? Look at the phone. Wait a minute. Is it
Man.
showing up?
I
I
don't,
can't.
I, I don't know if I can come out of here without it knocking me out.
It's nothing but all I see is it's just Kiwa man and Kiwa.
Hold on.
Yeah, you can go look at it.
Let's
It
see.
won't
Yeah,
He's
kick
at
you out.
192.
nah, but look at the comments. Look in the comment section.
Oh,
Look at the last 20 comments.
let's see here. Dang, there's a lot up here. I see. I see a lot of Tobias too.
Look, yeah, I'm
Oh, I
getting
see it.
notifications every time. I get the notifications every time somebody comment, right? And it just boop boop boop. My whole screen just do 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 do. Do. I'm like, God.
Hey, yeah, I see it now.
So
Hey, I see
the
it
whole
now.
time you was talking, some more popped up. I was like, look, man, the whole fam out here right now.
Hey, everybody showing my, showing my little cousin some love, man. I appreciate it. J- just make sure you vote for your person. I'm not telling y'all who to vote for. Hey, all 14 of these great young men put on great performances all year long, not only on the field but in the classroom. So, just make sure y'all stop through and show your person some love. Shout out to my cousin,
Facts,
but
Yeah,
facts.
there ain't nobody on that
right,
list that don't
right,
deserve to be
exactly.
there. So
Everybody on that list is absolutely deserving. Um,
Hey, well, real quick, man. Speaking of lists, I guess maybe tomorrow or this weekend we could go ahead and release that Bucksqueeze Sports all state team, that list. We got it completed. We just haven't we all seen it, but we just haven't let the public see it yet. So we could go ahead and post that. And I'll say this, man. Like we just said, man, it's not a single kid on that list that's not deserving. Now that's not to say if somebody's left off that list, please,
oh my
please,
gosh,
please do not take it as disrespect or a slight or anything like that. You
there
know,
so
was some.
because like I said, man, it's not a. We wanted to get everybody up here, and we wanted to have every team have some type of representation. So and take it as a testament to all these great 14 schools that we cover. So many great athletes. Somebody's gonna get left off, and I apologize. It's not meant to be disrespect.
It was a
Of course, I
collective.
already know that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say up here because somebody's still gonna complain about it. And I understand it is what it is. But
hey, y- y'all
I
need
got a
y'all need to
newfound
understand
respect.
how.
I'm sorry, man. I was just saying, man. I got a newfound respect for people that have done this before. Miss Dina King, she runs NC Preps. She used to do this. They used to do this every year for each classification. Now
Ooh,
they would have an all-state team for 1A through 4A. You know what I'm saying? So imagine now
Ooh-wee.
we struggled with 14 teams.
ooh.
We was up here for like 2-3 hours, deliberating. Imagine all those teams that they had, all those players, and you coming up for team, and then as soon as you post it, people, oh, excuse me, people were just tearing it apart. How did you leave this person off? Why is that person up there? And it got to the point where I think eventually she just got tired of it. So I think now they do one all state team and that's it. But I know I've seen people do it before, so I got newfound respect for all y'all. That's Miss King out there, NC Preps, Chris Miller, Joe Bryan, high school OT, Nick Stevens, all y'all out high school OT. The guy that used to do it for Friday Night Lights in Carolina, because it's tough, man. Like I said, you don't want to leave nobody out. You want to make sure you everybody gets a little bit of representation, but it's tough. So like I said, I understand. It's gonna be some pushback. It's gonna be some pushback. I
So
already know. I'm
I,
I'm, I'm prepared for it.
Believe me, guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and add on like what Chris is telling y'all. Like this is one of the hardest things
We,
we've done.
we argue
And
literally.
I had it,
yeah, I was about to say, don't think for 1 second that we
man.
all remained cordial through
Right.
this whole thing because it
I,
was not easy. Like and
Hey, yo,
and
that mess
and
was,
you
hey,
know,
that mess was,
and here's the thing, like
that mess was funny.
It was
Like, you gotta understand. Like, everybody's gonna see things a little bit different, and you know what I'm saying. Like, so basically, we may have thought like this person deserves like to be on the list, but they've got 2 more years or another year or whatever, and they're steady growing and shining. So we know we're gonna have an opportunity to get that kid on the
next year.
next one. If everything goes according to the trajectory that that child's been on. So we may have went ahead and went with the senior, or we may. There was a couple of times that we realized that we completely left off, like, didn't even have in a conversation kids from certain schools.
Yeah,
And then when we had to break it out and start pulling stats and stuff up, we were like, "Oh, that kid
Right.
has to go there." So I mean, it shook the whole list on us a couple different times. Um, you gotta. We only had so many spots. We originally was gonna make one team, then we turned it to two. Then we had to add some honorable mentions on there because there were some kids that were on the right path and maybe took an injury, or what other case may be, kind of plateaued them or whatever. And we said, okay, from the trajectory of what we saw, the path that they were on, that person would have most likely been deserving of this list. So we had kind of honorable mention a few. Like we kept trying to find ways to add on to this thing without making. Look, if we could have done what we wanted to do, we just talk about all of y'all,
Right.
man. We just put you all on there, but
Boy.
I'll say this: the thing,
but we had to make it as real as a football team as possible.
he said we would have liked to add more, but like we told y'all about before, we got some trophies that we want to present to the kids on the team, and you add more names to the list. That's more money. That's more money.
Whew.
So yeah, we had to keep it where it was at. But speaking of the trophies, we do want, like I said, we want to have Brandon picked out some really nice trophies that we want to present to the kids. Like I said, we still ask for donations if you would like to donate. My cash app's down there in the ticker down there. Please feel free. It doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, $5. We'll take it, man. It's all going towards doing something for those kids. So um, like I said, we're gonna put the names out and deal with the fallback, but trust me, man, we did our best. Like Brandon was saying, man, it got to a point just the other day, man. I was looking at the list and I was like, oh man, hold up, we ain't got a kid, we ain't have nobody from this school, and and it would just be too disrespectful because that coach from that school has been so responsive and very accommodating and very engaging. Anytime I had a question, he was right there. I mean, so so we want, like I said, we want to get somebody, at least one person from each school, and we finally accomplished that. Hopefully everyone was happy with the, like I understand there's gonna be some critics. There's always gonna be some critics. I mean, that's just the business that we're in. So yeah, I'm either
And
work on that tonight.
But y'all bring it on. Just take into consideration that we killed ourselves trying to
Look,
make
trust me,
this list.
trust me,
Like,
this ain't, and matter of fact, James Keenan folks, man, y'all better be in that section voting for Hassan, because y'all were some of the most boisterous people in the beginning of the year, and it was a
right.
million of y'all. And y'all need to come on back, show some love to Hassan down in the for the vote, because I know that, and after like I said, I'm having PTSD from from Magic's list early in the season. I know it's gonna be some critics, but it is what
Oh,
it is, man. We ready for it, man. We welcome it. We welcome it. But I'm gonna
the
work on that tonight,
the
and
trip.
hopefully I can either post it tomorrow or post it this weekend.
Now, mind you,
just know, if you think somebody should have been on that list, you're probably right.
the
You're
the
probably right. Like,
the Trent
I mean,
the
go
Trench
ahead, B.
Warrior and Player of the Year trophy will be different from the first and second teams. trophies, just because that's like an overall thing.
That's a special award.
Um, yeah, it's like a special award. Um, like I said, those two are completely will be completely different than the other ones, but the other ones are really really
They're,
nice.
they're nice,
Y'all
yeah.
see them whenever they're nice. I think so for the amount that they cost. But
Right.
like like them guys were saying, man, don't think for 1 second we didn't chew each other's head off. We didn't argue. We didn't, we like, what's crazy. We were fighting over other people's from other schools. I mean, of course, we were fighting
Right.
for our own too, but at the same time, here we are fighting for people from Midway to be here, and people from Hopton to be there, and like we went to that school. So I
Yep.
mean,
So I'll tell y'all like this. Like there was a couple of kids that I felt like should have been on there from Lakewood, and you know, Chris was like, "I agree, but such and such," and then somebody else was like, "Yeah, I think so too." We ended up, like I said, then somebody else was like, "Well, I think so and so deserves to be there." Well, then we didn't have to
right,
pull the stats. We didn't have to pull the stats and compare. And two out of three will have to back down because the stats said otherwise. So I mean, it
Or
was things like that.
or
Some of these kids, we've watched grow and change. And some of these kids might not have got an opportunity at the beginning of the season and then got an opportunity at the end. So their stats might not line up and be more than what somebody else had, but their stats from period to period were incredible. So we might have went with them. You know what I'm saying? So like there's different variables that we had to take into consideration
it was
and
stressful,
as well as personal knowledge and what we've witnessed watching these
stressful,
games. Not everything won't just off the stat book. Because if we did that, some of these kids will be completely left out because some of these schools have little stats
right?
or no stats.
yeah,
So
and I'm glad you said
um
that because I was just about to speak on that. There was three kids from a certain school that we're we're kind of deliberate between. Like we don't know. We know they're all strong in this position, but how do they compare? And go to the teams, max preps, and there's no defensive stats. Like, come on, like
yep.
coaches, Joe Bryan from High School OT had made a post on social media about this before, man. Like, you can't, omit, putting that stuff up there and then be upset when we don't acknowledge the kid because we have, you can't watch film on everybody. So sometimes you got to go off the stats, and there's nothing to go off of. We're left, all right. Well, I just gotta any mini mighty mow it and pick one of the three. So that was really frustrating because the offensive stats were there, but there were no defensive stats. Now, come on, coaches, man, help us out, man. And also, let me thank the coaches that actually responded to us when we asked about the kids. That helped out a lot too because I mean, the fans can fans are gonna be fans. They're gonna be biased. They're gonna go with their family member. But sometimes it's better to hear from the coaches. Deal with the kid every day. They saw it right there up close and personal. So sometimes that just had a little bit more weight. So I appreciate the coaches that took the time to respond. Um, and for because there's definitely some coaches that left me on red. So, but it is what it is, man. But yeah, we're looking forward to releasing this, and hopefully everybody enjoys it. And it's not not too much negativity because it's not meant to be negative, man. It's all positive over here.
Look, I'm gonna say this honestly. I'm okay with the list that we made. Like you said, it was 3 to 4 hours of deliberation, heated exchanges. So You know, um, the list is the list. I mean, I was out there in the pouring rain in some games, out there freezing, out there sweating, out there seeing your babies play. My gas money up and down the road. Like I said, Chris slaves us to death. He doesn't pay us. Um,
Hold up now. Hold up now. Dang.
but you know, like we took time away from our personal life because we love what we do, and driving up and down the road to see these games. So I've seen just about every team that's on every one of our 14 teams except for maybe three of them. That's JF Webb, Southeast Raleigh, and Marlboro County. That's the three that I did not go see. So, but I know the kids that were at Marlboro County, and I know I've seen them the year before. I watched them the year before, and I know what they could do. But to the Southeast Raleigh and JF Webb kids, you know, and Red Springs, that's that's on me. You know, I tried to get everywhere I could, but yeah, the list is the list. So, you have any hate towards it or whatnot? You know, I'm
And
just
I
playing
and
a
I
little
say
violin.
and I'll say this, man. If we didn't mention them, I'm pretty sure somebody did. Either they made the
Yeah,
all county team or the all conference
right.
team, or somebody mentioned them. If they're good enough, somebody mentioned them. So don't like I say ours is just our version of it. There's plenty of different teams out there. So it is what it is. And let me say this, man. I'm jealous of y'all, man. I would love to be back home in North Carolina on a Friday night. If people that don't know, I live down here in Tampa Bay area. Um, I would be all over the place, man. I would be all over the place. If they let me in, I would be there, man. Because I love high school football, man. And I got a bucket list of places I want to go watch football games and teams I want to see and matchups I want to see. And I said I can't wait to actually get home and be able to to hit the road on a Friday night and experience that again, man. And like I said, man, I get a lot of hate out of some people, man, but um, man, it was nothing better that I love to do than to be at Dark Horse Stadium on a Friday night. I was always at the 50-yard line, so I could see everything, man. Every Friday night I was there, and a lot of times I'll be one of the first people, lined up to get in the gate, man, because I love high school football, and I love that nostalgia that it brings, man. The sights, the sounds, the smells. I mean, one of my favorite memories, just sitting in that field house before the game. You went through warm ups. You sit in your locker. Going through what you're going through. Listen, some people might be listening to music, man. Favorite sounds, man. I used to love to hear our band would march by the field house. So they before we before they lined up out there on the field, and just hearing that, and that's when you knew it was game time, man. I missed all that stuff, man. So I'm looking forward to the day when I get back home, man, and be able to check out a football game. Like I said, that was always one of my favorite things to do. But yeah, like I said, this is why I'm up here doing this stuff. Yeah, I love high school football.
And unfortunately, I will not be at no school on Friday night this year. I will
So
be on the Spartan
you'll
sideline.
be you'll be in the
Uh,
school. You'll be whoever
right,
y'all
right. I
playing.
mean,
You'll
but
be.
I won't be focused on nothing but trying to stop offenses from scoring. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But in my bye week, if coach doesn't have us doing anything, I plan on catching a game in our bye week. If coach doesn't have us doing something, you know, or prepare, which I'll be prepping anyway. But um, I'm hoping to catch at least one marquee game in our bye week if there is one.
Oh man,
Hey,
it's always.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna
Oh,
say
sorry.
something real quick. I actually gotta take a time sensitive phone call here in just a minute. So I just want to say something real quick, and I'm gonna get out y'all's hair. Um, I need y'all to stay tuned. Parents, athletes, anybody that still hung in here with us this long. Uh, we're gonna have some camp stuff. going on. I'm not gonna get no details at the moment. I like to speak on things when
Solidify.
when we got everything locked down. There's gonna be some there's gonna be a camp coming up for football players. Um, if you're interested in being seen by some college coaches, I need you guys to stay tuned to this page because Buck Sweep is going to be at the forefront of advertising, announcing, and anything else that we may be needed to do. If it's hands on, boots on the ground, whatever we need to help get this thing out there and make it happen for our athletes. So yeah, I had a coach reach out, speak with me today on that, and asked if Buck Sweet would help be their voice. That's kind of gonna be our little sponsorship toward the camp. So you guys please stay tuned, and we'll be bringing details as we get them. Like I said, if you want to be seen by college coaches and you don't want to travel hours and hours, y'all need to lock in and pay attention to what we're doing and what we're saying. Um, just know if we've been talking about y'all, eyes are upon you already. So lock in. Lock in, stay stretched out, do your thing. Do your thing. Because there's a lot of people rooting for y'all in this area. We're your biggest supporters, of course, right here at Buck Sweep. But there's a lot of people rooting for y'all in this area. There's a lot of people that want change in this area. We happen to be close to two of them. So y'all stay tuned, and we'll give you those details as they unfold. And Chris, Brandon, I appreciate y'all, agreeing to be a part of that and stepping up. When like-minded goals come together like that, and we can be a part of something, man, that's awesome. So,
Always, bro.
yeah.
Happy to be a part and looking forward to it.
But I'm gonna roll out, guys. I apologize.
Oh no, you good, man.
Much love to all of y'all, all the supporters. Y'all keep supporting and doing what y'all doing. I'm telling you, big things coming. Big things are coming. So y'all stay with us, hang with us, keep supporting us, share our stuff, do what you got to do. Hey, trust us. The more eyes that's on you, the more eyes we putting on your babies. That's a promise. So, good night, y'all.
All right, man.
Good
You
night,
take it
bro.
easy now. Uh, real quick, man. One last topic before we close out, man. Sampson County basketball dive into it. Just wanted to wait to get football out the way, but right now, man, and just want to speak on them real quick. First off, man, the Lakewood Lady Leopards, man, the only undefeated team left standing in the county. Checked them out a little bit in the game against Clinton the other night, man. Awesome, really good basketball team. They got a extremely talented freshman. I, y'all know I'm terrible with name pronunciations, man. McCoy, number 10, freshman. I believe that's
Antonio's sister.
Antonio's sister. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a basketball playing family right there, man.
Man,
She
their
is
dad.
definitely just great genes, man. Because they some certified bucket getters, man. As a freshman, she's averaging 25 points a game right now, which is, I mean, uh, like I
Hey,
said, that's crazy, man.
I gotta shout out where they came from. Uh, Spartan. He was a Spartan. Bean, one of the greatest Spartan basketball players to play at Union. Both. That both of them come from him. So I don't expect nothing less out of them two.
They hoopers,
Their dad was
they
a
is hoopers.
abs. Yeah, I mean their dad was a complete. complete hooper. So I mean, I don't expect nothing less. I mean, they both come from great genes. Lakewood, and not just the girls. I mean, the
Yeah,
boys look the boys
I
look.
was getting, yeah, I was getting to that. I was getting to that. Man, Lakewood's just having, man, it's just been a great year in athletics. From going from football into basketball, and them boys have hit the road running. Um, like I said, one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in Sampson County, on the boys' side right now. I had scored a big win over Midway last week. A really talented football team, man. I mean, basketball team. We were talking about before we started recording, man. Big Cam Williams, man. Man, he don't do it. He do it on both ends, man. Not just football, but basketball too. Somebody that big, moving the way he does, man. He, like I said, man. I mean, extremely talented freshman and Xavier Hall that's starting to get a lot of attention. That's a good basketball team, man, and they're uh they're poised to a really good run here. Uh, um, and not only in conference play, but possibly in the playoffs. So definitely gonna be keeping my eye on them. Midway's Hamlin came to that really good Lakewood team, and it was a pretty competitive game, man. I got a couple of highlights of Kamari Tank Williams posted on the page. Him had a pretty good game the other night against Clinton. Clinton girls basketball, they've been pretty solid this year. Had a tough loss against Lakewood, but that was a 1 point game, man. That was a pretty good game. Coach Chris Owens out there, man. He's been a staple there for Clinton basketball for years. I know he's gonna do well. But right now, though, and I know we don't normally speak on him, on the football side, but we gotta talk about uh, Harold's Christian Academy right now, man. They're killing it in basketball, man. Them boys out there, they're having a really good season. We talked about his sister. Got to talk about Antonio McCoy, man. He's having a great year. And it's crazy, man. He's only a junior. I seems like he's been there forever, man. But
Well, you,
he's starting to get a
you
lot of
lose a
attention. He's
year.
starting to get some. Yeah, he's starting to get some offers now too. Some big time offers now. Look, man, just a couple more just popped up on the page, man. Q1, man, I'm that mess making that mess killing. But yeah, those are right now the teams in Central County that pretty much kind of started out hot, man. Of course, we got a lot of other teams that we can talk about. I'm hoping I can get a coach, new Clinton coach Michael Boykin on the show. One out there, Clinton. Been rough basketball wise for them out there, but he's certainly building. Tough. Well, not sure if they're gonna still have it with the weather coming in tomorrow. But they were tomorrow. Not sure if that's still going on, but we'll see. But a lot in the course. I know you're out there at Union, or what you guys got going on out there right now.
Uh, well, we got a young girls team.
That's a
We got
process.
to them kind of late. I mean, it's definitely a process. Uh, Coach Oates is an amazing coach for basketball. Is too down in Florida. He went to a bunch of Final Fours and stuff like that down there. And I think the main thing is just getting these girls coached up and getting them into shape. You know what I mean? Um, and I mean we're fairly young as well, so you know once we get that sense of pride in us and get that sense of conditioning and knowing who we are and identity, I think we'll get on the right track. Um, our JV boys, looks very promising. Coming up to the varsity next couple years or next year as well. And shout out to Coach McNeil, Coach Register out there, and Coach Facing. They're all three of them are coaching between the JV and the varsity boys. So, working together on that end. And yeah, I mean, we're just, Union's back. I mean, all we're trying to do is just get our culture back there, and in all sports, not just basketball, football, track, volleyball. We're just trying to get everything built back to the way Spartan, you know, used to be. So right now, I mean, we're just trying to coach these young kids up, get them in shape, and get competitive.
Yes, sir. Well, like I said, we're
Oh,
going to
and
be really.
I
Go
want I
ahead.
want I, I want to shout out my boy I used to play ball with a lot back in the day. He's a coach out there at Clinton. He's one of the JV coach, Roland Thompson. Shout out to
Oh,
him,
Roland. Yeah,
man.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know my boy was out there coaching JV, so shout out to him, man, and just giving back to his community as well, man. So I love coming into these gyms and seeing people I know, and just giving back to their school, and there's nothing like. I mean, me and Coach Ups talked about this other day. Even with football, there's nothing like alumni coming back, showing their face, and giving their time to their school, and sharing their experiences. And I made a Facebook post on my personal page. All the football players from 2002 to 2006, or any football players that came through Union, basketball players as well. If you're in town, stop by, say a few words of motivation to the school, or to the players, and share your story. Coach Epps has an open door policy with that. He loves to see people from Union Pass to come through. So I kind of like challenge y'all to do that. And also shout out CO Coach CO out there in Clinton, man, the girls coach. Great basketball coach. I don't know about the ref part though. I don't know about him and them stripes.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh man! But
But we,
great stuff,
we
man.
but we have Lakewood on Tuesday.
We'll be locked in on that, man. Like I was about to say, football's over with, so I'm really about to dive in on this basketball coverage. Um, shout out to Anthony Goodman. He's gonna be coming in helping us out with some basketball coverage as well. I know he's based out there around Newton Grove, Hopton area, so and we're gonna dive really into this basketball coverage and try to make sure we keep your guys everyone up to date on what's going on in the county and those try to get those scoreboards just like we did in football. Keep everybody updated on the scores and stuff. So do the best we can with that. So really look forward to really dive into that next starting next week. So a lot of great games. Gonna keep an eye on these teams. Start getting into these conference games and just moving forward, man. So really looking forward to it. But before we close out, Brandon, man, you got anything else you want to say?
Hey, look, man, everybody, this is the new year. Um, every chance you get, try to find a way to get closer to the Lord. Um,
Yes, sir.
you know, you know, be a good person, be disciplined in your everyday life, lead by example for these kids, and just be there. Be there and show up for, and parents, there's nothing more important. Yeah, you can go out and buy your kids Jordans and AirPods, iPhones, all that. But you really want to make your child's day, come to a game. When a kid looks up in the stands and sees their parents there or their guardian in the stands, it makes the biggest difference in a child's life, man. I'm telling you, show up and show out for your babies. Um, Also, I want to hey, my mind just went blank, Chris.
It's all good, man. It
Oh,
happens.
oh, I know what I was gonna say. Continue to support your schools, booster club, support your schools fundraising. I mean, $5, half and half tickets, $10 half and half tickets. If your child come home with a ticket selling hot dogs and chips and a soda for school, buy it. I mean, these schools are needing the funding. So any chance you're available, and sometimes it don't have to be a monetized donation. A lot of times these schools need helping hands, just your time. contact your booster club members or presidents and see, you know, can you fill in for a concession stand or sit at the door, collect money for, for a football, basketball, or track or whatever. Um, y'all families that have food restaurants and for team meals, maybe donate some food for the teams that need pregame meals. Just I urge y'all to support your local schools, man. These schools are not being funded correctly. Um, I mean, there's a lot of schools out here that need new jerseys, they need new helmets, they need new uh equipment. Um, so if you're out here complaining about your school success, look at yourself first and ask, what can I do to help? So
Yes, sir.
um I'm gonna leave you with that right there, Chris. And like I said, I urge everyone to, I know this is not a religious thing, but this was my New Year's resolution is to become closer um with the Lord, and I'm trying to clean up my potty mouth a little bit. So
I
if
know that's right.
I urge everyone to do those things I mentioned right there, especially for the schools and everything. So, man, Chris, I'm ready for the next season of Buck Sweep and get this thing rolling and see what we can do for basketball for these kids.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Look, man, I gotta piggyback off everything you said, man. Definitely, everybody get involved, man. Continue to support these schools. Show up, just showing up, like you said, man, make the world a difference. Once again, man, I appreciate everyone tuning in to us. We're gonna try, like I said, we're doing our own thing now. So Thursday nights are gonna be our nights. If something pops up, we may do something on Mondays. Uh, still, still talking about it, but Thursday night, 7 o'clock, it's gonna be our time. So please tune in to us. If please like, share all the videos, all the content. Continue to blow up that voting poll, man. Vote, vote, vote. Got a BuzzFeed Sports Player of the Year. Continue to participate in that. Um, Slide over to our YouTube page. Subscribe to our YouTube page. If you haven't uh, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. Everything's down there below in the ticker. We appreciate all the support that we received. Looking forward to another awesome year of covering sports here in Sampson County, Duplin County, Blaine County, pretty much all around here, and showing love to all these schools, these coaches, and most importantly these student athletes. So once again, man, Chris Harris, Coach Brandon Maynor, gonna be signing off, man. We'll see y'all next week.